Congo is a country in Central Africa known for its thick, mysterious jungles that have fascinated explorers and scientists for years. These vast forests hide creatures and natural wonders that continue to amaze the world. However, some things in Congo don't just amaze, they can be quite disturbing. From an animal that eats bat poop for nutrients to a tall metal slab that suddenly appeared in the middle of the city, here are some terrifying discoveries in Congo that terrified the whole world. A mysterious monolith. The people of Kinshasa woke up one morning to find something strange standing tall in their city. In the Bandel neighborhood, a 12-foot metallic structure had appeared overnight, its presence baffling everyone who laid eyes on it. The unusual object, shaped like a tall triangle, immediately became the center of attention. For days, curious onlookers swarmed the area. Conversations buzzed through the crowd, and phones were raised to capture selfies with the mysterious structure. The towering object sparked debates. Some connected it to the strange monoliths that had been appearing around the world at the time. These eerie pillars were popping up in different places, fueling wild conspiracy theories. People couldn't resist comparing it to the iconic monolith in Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. They wondered whether it held a hidden significance or message. However, things quickly went from intrigue to unease and distrust. One resident even remarked that the triangular shape brought to mind symbols associated with organizations such as the Freemasons or the Illuminati. It wasn't long before a shift in mood occurred. Sticks in hand, people began attacking the structure, tearing it apart piece by piece, and determined to see what lay beneath its surface. What they found was underwhelming. The once mysterious figure was hollow, no grand secret hidden inside, just simple metal sheets wrapped around a frame. Disappointment quickly set in, and before long, the monolith was set ablaze, reduced to nothing but ashes and scraps. The massive snake. During a helicopter patrol in the Katanga area of the Congo in 1959, Colonel Remy van Leerde from the Belgian Royal Air Force stumbled upon something that took him and his co-pilot by surprise. Having completed more than 400 missions, van Leerde was accustomed to witnessing unusual things. But nothing could have prepared him for what he spotted. Down below was a snake of unimaginable size. It was something far beyond anything he had seen before. As the helicopter flew low over the ground, he estimated the snake to be over 50 feet long. If his estimation is correct, it would be the largest snake ever documented on our planet. To put it into perspective, the biggest snakes today, such as the green anaconda and reticulated python, are nowhere near that size. Green anacondas typically measure around 15 feet, while reticulated pythons can reach lengths exceeding 20 feet. As they passed over again for a closer look, the snake raised its massive body nearly 10 feet into the air, showing its full strength and size. Van Leerde later recounted that he felt if they had flown any closer, the snake might have struck at the helicopter. He was convinced it could easily devour a man whole, given its sheer size and power. Though the encounter was brief, the crew managed to capture a single grainy photograph of the beast. The image, though not clear, showed a giant snake that seemed immense compared to the trees around it. Whether the photograph was enough proof or not, the story of this colossal snake has left many to wonder, was it truly real or just a trick of the eye? Fatherhood in the Baka tribe. The Baka, also known as the Aka, Biaka, or Babenzele, are one of the most unique tribes living within the southeastern Congo rainforest. Spread across countries like Congo, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, and Gabon, this nomadic group is believed to be among the earliest Bantu inhabitants of the Congo basin. For centuries, they have lived close to nature and adapted to a life connected to the earth. But there's something about the Baka that makes them stand out even more. You see, when it comes to fatherhood, no one does it quite like the Baka men. This is because they spend more time caring for their children than any other group of men around the world. In fact, they have earned the title of best dads in the world for their dedication to active fathering. Unlike in many other cultures, these fathers often take on the role of primary caregiver. When their babies cry and the mother isn't nearby, Baka men go to extraordinary lengths to comfort them. They are known to even offer their nipple for the baby to suck on, simply as a way to soothe and bond with the child. Now, this practice, first discovered by anthropologist Professor Barry Hewlett, surprised many. In most societies, the idea of male breastfeeding might raise eyebrows. But for the Baka men, who typically go shirtless throughout their lives, allowing a baby to suck on their nipple is just a natural way to stay close to their children. Additionally, unlike their farming neighbors, Baka fathers avoid rough play when interacting with their kids. Instead, they choose gentle communication. This nurturing way of parenting helps build a strong emotional connection, creating a deep, unspoken bond between father and child that is both rare and beautiful in today's world. Mokele Mbembe. In Congo, there exists a story about a creature called Mokele Mbembe. The name is derived from the Lingala language spoken in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and is interpreted as the one who halts the rivers. This creature is believed to reside deep within the Congo basin. Numerous accounts depict it as being massive and similar to an elephant, yet possessing an elongated neck and a serpent-like tail. Local legends tell stories of this being living deep within the unexplored swamps and river systems. It often hides in caves that rivers have carved into the clay banks, especially at sharp bends. These secluded areas offer a refuge for the semi-aquatic animal. Mokele Mbembe is said to be rather possessive and fiercely guards its territory. Fishermen in the region hold the belief that if a canoe ventures too near its domain, disaster will follow. It is said that the creature would attack these boats immediately, showing no mercy to those aboard. Some locals have shared that Mokele Mbembe feeds only on the plants found in its environment. They suggest that it might come ashore during the day to search for tasty vegetation. Interestingly, stories mention that the bodies of those who encounter the creature are often left unharmed. It seems that Mokele Mbembe has no interest in eating humans, perhaps because it prefers plants instead. The connection between Mokele Mbembe and dinosaurs is an intriguing one. Cryptozoologists suggest that it might be a surviving relic from the past, resembling extinct species like Brachiosaurus or Diplodocus. The thought of a creature like this still existing on our planet today captivates many individuals. The horrors of Congo's cobalt mining. In today's world, smartphones, computers, and electric cars are prominent symbols of progress. However, the rechargeable batteries that power them frequently depend on cobalt. Unfortunately, this cobalt is extracted by workers enduring harsh circumstances in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Many of these workers are treated like slaves. In many African nations, which have abundant valuable resources, the combination of poor leadership and the greed of Western countries leads to exploitation. Congo has the largest cobalt reserves in the world, but faces difficulties due to this wealth. As of October 2023, approximately 6.9 million people in Congo have been forced to leave their homes because of conflicts and attacks by insurgents. Some of these displacements are related to evictions caused by cobalt mining operations. Now, much of the cobalt is extracted from the country's copper belt. Among the 255,000 Congolese people involved in cobalt mining, a shocking 40,000 are children. These children often work in informal small-scale mining operations. Most of the time, they use only their hands and earn less than $2 a day. As noted by World Vision, a United States-based NGO, extracting these minerals can be perilous. A lot of the substances are toxic, and coming into contact with them can result in severe health issues. Miners are always at risk of tumbling down open shafts or getting stuck in crumbling tunnels. Some even risk drowning while working in underwater mines. The conditions are harsh and the dangers are ever present. So while the world benefits from these technologies, the human cost is immense. Behind the scenes, these laborers continue to work tirelessly, their challenges frequently overlooked. As consumers enjoy the latest gadgets, they remain unaware of the tough circumstances faced by those who make them possible. Carbon time bomb. The Cuvette Centrale is located in the Congo Basin. This region remains submerged for a significant portion of the year, and it serves as a habitat for endangered species such as forest elephants and lowland gorillas. However, in 2017, it made headlines. Researchers discovered 56,200 square miles of peatlands in the area. To put things into perspective, This is about the size of England. Now, peatlands, which include bogs and muddy swamps, only make up about 3% of the Earth's surface. However, they store twice as much carbon as all the forests in the world combined. The Cuvette Centrale peatlands are part of the largest tropical peatland network globally and hold over 30 billion tons of carbon. Currently, this vast area remains mostly untouched by human activity. But if the carbon stored in these peatlands is released, it could have catastrophic effects on the planet. The carbon trapped in the Congo's peatlands equals about 20 years' worth of United States fossil fuel emissions. There are concerns that roads could be built, allowing loggers easier access. Politicians might choose to convert the land into farmland. In these cases, the peatlands would dry out and carbon would escape into the air. This would not only endanger the ecosystem, but also pose a global threat. In 2019, research suggested there could be a large amount of oil hidden beneath the peatlands. The exact amount is still unknown, but international oil companies and consulting firms are investigating. Some think it might be possible to extract the oil without much damage by using methods similar to offshore drilling. Yet the risk of oil spills remains a serious concern. What could happen to these peatlands if oil extraction occurs is still uncertain, and the threat of a spill looms over the future. The EMA Anuka. The EMA Anuka is an elusive creature said to inhabit the remote regions of the Congo and possibly parts of Cameroon. Locals regard this animal with fear, referring to it as the elephant killer because of its temperament. According to their accounts, it attacks and kills anything that crosses its path. The EMA Anuka is described as being roughly the size of an African bush elephant. Its skin color is believed to be either brownish or gray, and it possesses a heavy tail. The body is shaped somewhat like a rhinoceros, especially because it is described as having one long horn on its snout. Its large, bulky body is held up by 4 short, thick legs. Unlike some other animals, it is said to have a smooth neck with no ridges or frills. This creature is also thought to be semi-aquatic, spending time in both water and on land, feeding on malombo and other leafy plants. People have claimed to hear its vocalizations, describing the sounds as snorts, rumbles, or even growls. The first time the EMA Anuka was officially mentioned by name was in 1954. This happened in an article published in the journal Mammalia. It was written by Lucien Blancou, a former Likuala game inspector. Blancou described the creature as being larger than a buffalo and living in the Likuala swamps. He also stated that the EMA Anuka could kill elephants, buffaloes, and even hippos if disturbed. So what could this creature really be? Is it possible that this animal survived from the Ice Age and somehow has stayed hidden all this time? The mystery around the EMA Anuka continues, leaving us with many questions. While stories and descriptions exist, no one has yet proven its existence. It remains one of the Congo's most intriguing mysteries. Gold rush in Luhihi. In the year 2021, an extraordinary event took place in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it resembled a moment from an epic adventure or a quest for hidden treasure. A video went viral on social media, showing a huge crowd of villagers at a mountain in Luhihi, located in South Kivu province. The excitement was sparked by the discovery of an area rich in gold. News about the find spread quickly, and soon everyone was keen to get their hands on the valuable metal. In one of the videos, locals were seen digging up the ground using shovels, pickaxes, and different tools in their pursuit to uncover as much gold as they could. Some were so eager that they even started digging with their bare hands. The sight of so many people frantically searching for gold made the area chaotic. So many people flooded the small village that it quickly became overwhelmed. There was pressure on the village's resources, and the authorities had no choice but to step in. With the massive number of diggers arriving daily, the authorities decided to ban mining in the village. It was the only way to keep things under control. Congo has a history of gold production, but it is often underreported. Many times, large amounts of gold are smuggled out of the country. They end up in global markets through neighboring countries, making it hard to track. This incident was just another example of the Congo's rich but troubled relationship with its natural resources. Cassi Rex. Across the globe, tales abound of mysterious creatures that challenge our understanding. In the heart of the Kasai Valley, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a legendary being known as the Cassi Rex is said to exist. This enormous predator is often likened to dinosaurs such as the Tyrannosaurus rex or Giganotosaurus. However, considering the region's history and the species of dinosaurs that once roamed Africa, experts believe that if the Cassi Rex is indeed real, it may be more closely related to Spinosaurids, Abelisaurids, Allosaurids, or even Carcharodontosaurids. Notably, there are no records of tyrannosaurs ever inhabiting Africa, making the T-Rex connection rather unlikely. The first known sighting of the Cassi Rex happened in 1932. A Swedish plantation owner named John Johnson, along with his servant, reported encountering the beast while in the Kasai Valley. They had been watching a group of rhinoceroses when the massive creature burst out from the underbrush. According to the story, it attacked one of the rhinos with shocking force. Johnson's servant, terrified by what was happening, ran for his life, leaving his master behind. Johnson, on the other hand, fainted from the shock of the sight. When he woke up, he claimed to have seen the Cassi Rex eating the dead rhinoceros. He later described the creature as being reddish in color, with dark stripes running along its body. This unusual sighting has sparked debates over the years about what the Cassi Rex truly is. Some people think it could be a giant Komodo dragon, but this idea raises questions because Komodo dragons are limited to a few Indonesian islands. Others believe the Cassi Rex is actually a species of giant monitor lizard. These reptiles, which can occasionally stand on two legs, are native to Africa and could possibly account for the sightings. Deadly volcano. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, you will find two powerful volcanoes named Nyiragongo and Nyamuragira. They are located near Lake Kivu in the region. Over the years, the volcanoes have caused destruction, with multiple eruptions taking place since the 1900s. However, they have very different shapes. One stands wide and gently rises from the ground, while the other boasts steep and rocky slopes. Nyiragongo, in particular, is found in the Albertine Rift Zone. This zone is part of the western branch of the East African Rift System. Though scientists aren't sure exactly how long Nyiragongo has been erupting, they know it has erupted at least 34 times since 1882. In fact, there have been times when it erupted continuously for years. During these times, a large lava lake would churn inside the volcano's crater. What makes Nyiragongo even more terrifying is its lava. You see, lava here holds the record for being the fastest flowing in the world. In 2002, the volcano erupted, forcing 500,000 people in the nearby city of Goma to flee. It destroyed homes and infrastructure and left many displaced. More recently, in 2019 and 2021, lava flowed again from Nyiragongo's sides. Once again, it reached Goma and caused further destruction. Another danger in this area is the presence of carbon dioxide gas. Locals call it mazuku. In certain regions, this gas rises from the earth, and if the wind doesn't disperse it, things can turn deadly. There have been cases where children have tragically passed away from inhaling the harmful gas. Subscriber's pick. Now it's time for today's subscriber's pick, and the image we're looking at is truly bizarre. What you see here are strange humanoid figures with wrinkled skin and enlarged heads. Their gaunt figures and large veiny heads make them look otherworldly. Rumor has it that these creatures were spotted deep in the jungles of the Congo. Some say they could be an ancient tribe, while others believe they might be something not quite human. Could these beings have lived undetected in the thick, mysterious forests of the Congo for centuries? Many explorers have ventured into the dense jungle to find creatures like these, only to come back with more questions than answers. So what do you think? Could something like this really exist in the wilds of the Congo, or is it just a hoax? Let us know your thoughts. Worsening food crisis. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is facing one of the most pressing hunger crises in the world today. Over 25 million people are dealing with severe hunger, and nearly 3 million are barely staying above the line that marks famine. This isn't a sudden crisis, it has been building up for years due to constant conflict and a shaky economy. The fighting has left millions unable to farm their land, which is the main source of both food and income for many families in the Congo. Without crops to harvest or sell, people are left with almost nothing. In areas still suffering from conflict, even humanitarian aid struggles to reach those who need it most. It becomes harder to get supplies into these areas, leaving communities in a desperate state. In regions where peace has returned, like Tanganyika province, the situation hasn't improved as much as hoped. Though the violence has slowed, the aftermath of the conflict still lingers. One individual described the scene in 2021, saying the province had no food or investment. Everything had been destroyed, and now there was nothing left to rebuild with. Making matters worse is the country's unstable economy. By the end of 2023, inflation had soared to 23%, and food prices followed closely. Basics like beans, corn flour, and rice became 51% more expensive compared to the previous year and were double the 5-year average. With 3/4 of the population living in poverty, these rising costs hit hard. People who were already struggling now find themselves in even deeper trouble. The Congo's hunger crisis continues to grow as conflict, economic issues, and skyrocketing food prices create a perfect storm. Each day, more families find themselves on the brink of starvation, with few options left. Beloo. Every part of the world has its own myths and legends, and in the heart of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, one of the most feared creatures is the Beloo. According to local stories, these small but dangerous beings despise humans. A single Beloo is called an Eloko, and they are said to roam the deepest, darkest parts of the rainforest. In these thick parts of the forest, sunlight hardly touches the earth. Even during the day when the sun is shining its brightest, the forest floor stays dimly lit and shadowy. The dense foliage, vines and branches shield the light, making it an ideal spot for the Beloo to hunt. It is in these eerie places that they are believed to wait, watching for anyone who dares to enter. Some say that the Beloo are spirits of ancestors who died with a grudge against the living. They still carry anger and jealousy toward humans, which fuels their desire to hunt them. Others believe the Beloo are an ancient evil, set loose when the world was first formed. There are also those who see them as simply another part of the forest, like a mushroom on the ground or a bird in the trees, blending into the natural world. The Beloo are said to feast on human flesh. Though small in size, they have the terrifying ability to unhinge their jaws. This allows them to swallow a person whole. Instead of hair, they have patches of grass growing on their bodies, which helps them to blend in perfectly with their surroundings. Their eyes glow bright red, and they carry small bells. In Central Africa, these bells are believed to have magical powers, casting spells on anyone who hears them. However, it's believed that carrying an amulet or special charm can protect against the Beloo's magic. These creatures, whether real or imagined, remain a terrifying presence in the legends of the Congo. For those who live near the forest, the thought of the Beloo continues to inspire both fear and caution. Jabbafofi. Spiders come in many shapes and sizes, from the tiny Samoan moss spider to the massive Goliath bird-eating spider. But some cryptozoologists believe an even bigger spider may be hiding in the rainforests of the Congo. Known as the Jabbafofi, this giant arachnid is said to live deep in the dense jungle. According to the local people, these spiders spin huge webs that stretch between trees, using leaves to hide their traps. These webs often cross game trails or other parts of the rainforest, making them hard to spot. The Jabbafofi are said to use a unique hunting method. Instead of only relying on webs, they dig burrows beneath tree roots. They cover the openings with webs and use leaves to camouflage the area, creating a hidden trap, much like a trapdoor spider would. Locals say adult Jabbafofi resemble giant tarantulas, with dark brown bodies. Their bodies are reportedly around 28 to 30 inches in diameter, and they have prominent fangs and venom that is highly toxic. When standing, the spiders are said to be as tall as a human. People also claim the eggs of the Jabbafofi are pale yellow and about the size and shape of peanut shells. The young spiders are described as bright yellow with purple abdomens, but they turn dark brown as they grow older. The native people of the Congo avoid these nests at all costs, often taking long detours just to stay away. Stories are told of these giant spiders entering villages, killing livestock, and even carrying off small animals and children. In the villages, they build their huts with steep thatched roofs and tightly spaced walls to keep the spiders out. Some elders in the region claim that the Jabbafofi used to be much more common, but over time they have become harder to find, though the threat still lingers. The mystery of the Congo River. The Congo River is known as the deepest river in the world, with some spots reaching depths of up to 220 meters. A strange event involving dying fish in the lower parts of the Congo River led scientists to make this surprising discovery. What makes this river so unique isn't just its depth, but the wild rapids, strong currents, and even hidden underwater waterfalls that cut through the water. These strong forces act like mountain ranges, splitting up the river and separating fish populations, just as landforms do with animals. This separation has played a major role in the development of many different species of fish in the river. Scientists first started to investigate the depths of the lower Congo several years ago. Their attention was caught when they found pale, blind fish appearing at the water's surface, usually already dead or dying. It was later revealed that these fish suffered from the bends, a condition caused by decompression that creates air bubbles in the blood and body tissues. This condition is usually found in divers, not fish, and it puzzled researchers. As they dug deeper into how this could happen, they uncovered that parts of the Congo River are far deeper than any other river on Earth. In the lower Congo River alone, more than 300 different species of fish have been found. The rapids in this section are so fierce that they keep certain fish groups completely apart from one another. This isolation has allowed new species to develop, even when they live close to their relatives. The powerful waters create invisible barriers, keeping some fish populations from ever mixing and pushing them to evolve in ways that make them unique to the Congo's depths. This river holds many secrets and continues to amaze researchers with its hidden wonders. Okapi. Have you ever wondered what it would look like if a deer and a zebra were combined into one animal? Well, meet the Okapi. It is the only living relative of the giraffe. This animal can only be found in the wild in one place, the Ituri rainforest, which is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Living deep in the thick jungle, the Okapi has developed ways to hide well in its surroundings. The brown and white stripes on its back legs help it blend in with the forest. These stripes are almost like a disguise and allow the Okapi to stay hidden from predators. Okapis feed on a variety of plants. They enjoy fruits, buds, leaves, and twigs. In a single day, one Okapi can eat as much as 60 pounds of vegetation. Sometimes they even nibble on clay from riverbeds to get important minerals. And yes, they are known to eat bat droppings occasionally, which gives them extra nutrients they can't get from plants alone. When it comes to reproduction, female okapis usually have just one calf at a time. A baby okapi is able to stand and walk only 30 minutes after being born. However, it can't poop until it's at least a month old. This strange adaptation helps the calf stay safe. Without feces, there is no smell to attract predators. Unfortunately, the okapi is in trouble. It is classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Scientists estimate that the okapi population in the wild has decreased by half over the past 2 decades. Now, while leopards are the okapi's main predator, humans pose the greatest danger to its existence. Poaching and habitat destruction have made it challenging for these shy creatures to flourish in their natural habitat. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.